The long-awaited Flash film is finally making its way to the theaters. It's been in development on and off for nearly 4 decades. So was it worth it? Probably not. I didn't like it, but I'm not here to talk to you about what I thought about it. I'm here to talk about Batman and his presence in the Flash movie. More specifically, as the title of this video would suggest, did the movie confirm who's playing Batman in the new DCU under James Gunn? We're going to answer that question, but before I do that, major spoiler warning for the movie. If you haven't seen it and you want to avoid spoilers, click off of this video right now. If not, if you want spoilers or if you have seen the movie, let's talk about it. So as we all know, the film follows loosely the Flashpoint storyline from the comics. Now the Flashpoint storyline, of course, has 3 different continuities. In the comics, it starts off as New Earth, which is basically the main DC universe after Crisis on Infinite Earths, lasts all the way up to 2011 when Barry Allen, the Flash, goes back in time, stops his mum from dying, and creates this butterfly effect that creates a whole new timeline called Flashpoint. And Flashpoint is just hell on Earth. It's a really twisted timeline, and eventually Barry realizes he needs to fix his error, so he goes back in time again, stops himself from saving his mother, and that, for the most part, fixes things, but still creates a new timeline, and that created Prime Earth, or what is more popularly known as the New 52. Now, this was prevalent in the movie as well. The film started off in the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. This is the same universe we've had for 10 years since Man of Steel. We've seen it in the Wonder Woman movies, Suicide Squad, Justice League, all these things. And as we know, Ben Affleck is the Batman of this universe, right? This is the universe that the Flash comes from in the film. Now, eventually he gets the idea to go back in time and save his mother, as he does in the story, and this creates a Flashpoint. Now, admittedly, this Flashpoint is a bit different to how the comics one works, but it's a similar premise in terms of the timelines. Eventually, he realizes the Flashpoint timeline is horrendous, and this alternate version of Barry from Flashpoint becomes obsessed with time travel, and eventually does it so often that he creates this kind of evil counterpart, and different universes and different timelines start to collapse onto each other. And admittedly, this was kind of cool because we got a bit of a cameo fest. It annoys me when cameo fests take up the whole film, but this was like a brief thing, and I thought it was really cool. We get to see George Reeves, Christopher Reeves, Nicolas Cage, all as Superman. Helen Slater's there as Supergirl. Adam West Batman. We even got a Jay Garrick in George Reeves' universe. It was really cool. Admittedly, the CG of that scene did look like it was from an early 2000s video game, so, you take what you can get, I guess. But of course, one thing I forgot to mention, Michael Keaton is the Batman of the Flashpoint timeline. We all know this. This was in the trailers and stuff. So it was Affleck in the DCU, Keaton in Flashpoint. Now Barry goes back in time, stops himself from saving his mother, but does still change some stuff in the past so that his father isn't wrongfully convicted of his mother's murder. This in itself has another butterfly effect, and we get a new actor for Bruce Wayne in the final scene of the film. Now, it's kind of been implied up until this point that post-Flashpoint in this movie will be James Gunn's DCU. So in theory, whoever shows up in this scene will be the Batman of James Gunn's universe. It's kind of questionable when you see who that is, and that's what we're here to talk about. So who is the new Batman? Well, it's George Clooney. And I never thought I'd be saying that. George Clooney, of course, he was Batman in 1997's Batman and Robin, which is most commonly known as the worst Batman film, and even George Clooney will admit that it's one of the worst films he's ever done. So, will George Clooney be the Batman of the DCU? Well, technically, he is, but I don't expect it to stay that way. I expect that this will be a cameo and nothing more. I don't think George Clooney would be willing to come back to Batman for like a longer stay. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong because I love George Clooney. I assume that this is either going to be retconned or they're going to do even more continuity shenanigans and change more stuff around. But as far as we know at this point in time, mostly on technicality, George Clooney may be the Batman that we see in Batman Brave and the Bold. Which also Anthony Muschietti, who directed The Flash, is in talks to direct that one as well. So, you never know. Anyways, that's it really. I just wanted to talk about the new Batman because that's a thing, and it's been weighing on my mind since I saw the movie yesterday. And what do you guys think? Do you think George Clooney should be DCU's Batman? Do you think it should be someone else, maybe a new actor? Should they bring someone else back? Maybe Affleck stays on? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. But yeah, like I said, I love George Clooney. I would love for him to stay around. Give him a Damian Wayne and do Brave and the Bold. I'm all for it. So yeah, with that said, thank you guys very much for joining me today. Do let me know your thoughts on the film and on the new Batman. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.